But now, they do a social thing, they collect money to help the poor people, and they are going slowly, down.
I see.
But in this time, they was powerful. When we was arrested by the police, by example, you just do the sign, and if the police was the Knight of Columbus, they say, I don't give you a ticket, but be careful next time, I have to give you a ticket. When the Knight of Columbus have to go to court, by example, he do a sign, a special sign to the judge, and they arrange that because they was brothers,
Mm-hmm. What is the relationship of the Knights of Columbus to the Jesuits?
Oh, the Knight of Columbus and the Jesuit, Ignatius of Loyola found the Jesuit to check the church. The General Superior of the Jesuit Order, we call him the Black Pope. He's the one running the church in the background,
So you think
in the shadow.
So the Black Pope really runs the Vatican.
And that's why the Jesuit Order tried to take the secret orders inside of the Catholic system to have more control in the church, in the public, in the company, and in the world. They infiltrate the world by secret orders, like a Knight of Columbus, Freemasonry, Carbonaries, and that's all come from Illuminati's organization, to organize the world's government.
And so, if I just may add something here, Eric, while I'm listening, what I'm hearing from you, Pastor, is that the Jesuits behind the scene, through the Black Pope, actually control the Vatican, correct?
Yes. They are controlling the Vatican. Just like the things the Pope says last week, normally the Jesuits suppose each sermon the Pope suppose, or each conversation the Pope have to do in public, they have to check that, because they don't accept the Pope do some error, some mistake, and they didn't check what he says, and what is the impact of his last sermon in Germany, against the Muslim and everything. That's because the Jesuit, they never check his preach.
Mm-hmm.
The Jesuit, they supervise everything in the church. Nothing's go out if it's not supervised by the Jesuit.
Now, you learned this from your days in Rome, correct?
Yes, because when I was working, I was rector of the Holy Office in Rome. I had to contact the Jesuit every day, and I was in charge of the secret document in the Vatican, in the Holy Office, and I was not allowed to send out any document before that document was checked by a Jesuit, by a Jesuit priest. They have to supervise everything. They run the church secretly. That's why we call their superior the Black Pope,
Well, amazing.
He's the shadow of the Pope.
Shadow of the Pope. You told me, Gerard, that you had also been, while you were a priest, you'd also been brought into the Masonic Lodge. You were also a Mason. Could you tell us about that and the degrees that you were?
I was in 37 degrees. Yes. In the Masonry, first of all, I had the 31st degrees, 33 first degrees. I was a priest, normal priest. But when I came in charge in the Vatican, from the first degree to the 33 degrees, that's normal people. 34, 35, 36 degrees, they are the elders of the great company, multinational company like Air Canada, traveling company, banks, big, like a Ford company in the United States, Chrysler, they are in the 36 degrees. In 37 degrees, they are all members of the clergy. Roman Catholic, Jews, Protestant, Hindu, Muslim, they are all in the 36, 37 degrees. They are all from religious
So would you say that all the high priests in the papacy, as well as the high Protestants like Billy Graham, and the high Muslims like the El Saud dynasty, and the high Jews, the high Jewish chief rabbis, would you not say that the majority are all Masons?
No, not the majority of them, but each religion, they had to have a representative in the Freemasonry degrees, in 36, 37 degrees. 30, 38 degrees, they are more closer, you know. We don't know at 37 degrees who is in the 38 degrees. And the top is 39 degrees. And, you know, Freemasonry, they work with two pyramids. One in North America and one in Europe. Mm-hmm. And the 38 degrees, they are two peoples. One from North America pyramid and the other from European pyramid. And the 39 degrees is the supreme chief of the Freemasonry. And the last chief I know was Paul VI, the Pope Paul VI. He was the only Pope, and all the story of the church, you know, his hat is supposed to have 3 crowns. That's why they call that in Latin tiara. That means 3 crowns. But Paul VI had 4 crowns, because the 4th one was the world chief of the Freemasonry.
Okay, we're going to take a break and come back with former Bishop Bouffard and Eric Phelps. And I might remind everyone that in canon law, it's supposed to mean excommunication if you belong to a Masonic lodge. We'll be back and talk about that in 4 minutes.
Now you can do something.
Okay, we're back for the final segment of this first hour of the Investigative Journal, and we're going to spend 2 hours with my guests. That's former Bishop Gerard Bouffard and also Eric Phelps, author of Vatican Assassins. And I hope people out there appreciate this, what former Bishop Bouffard is saying. A person that has this kind of information, who worked closely in Rome and understands the inner workings, should be praised for coming forward, because I'll tell you what, not many people do. This has been a long-kept secret in this country of actually the real workings of the Vatican, what their real intentions are, and how they use the Jesuit Order as their henchmen. And I think after this interview, go to www.gcnlive.com, go to the archives, pass this around, because I think after you listen to these 2 hours, it'll remove any kind of doubt that the Vatican is actually the religious controllers of the New World Order, controlled by the Black Pope. And we have former Bishop Gerard Bouffard, who has verified that after working in the Vatican for a number of years, communicating with the Jesuits on a daily basis. Eric, I want you to continue. It was shocking to me to hear this about all these different... I knew back in the 80s when I worked in Rome, I was there when over 150 high bishops, priests, and our cardinals were outed as being members of Masonic lodges, P2 included. I remember the story coming out in the Vatican, in the Italian newspapers when I worked there. And now we hear that Pope Paul VI, through Bishop Bouffard's recollections, was actually a 39th degree Mason. Unbelievable. Go ahead and pick it up from there, Eric. Are you there?
Yes, I am there.
Go ahead.
You know what I says. I don't say brother Billy Graham or he was missing, but I says, the Jesuit, they infiltrate the Christian church, but through the Mason, they infiltrate